Applause fades under tense music. I am begging you. Please don't walk away, not yet. Not now, just hear me. But we need to talk somewhere private, where no one can see the panic in my eyes. The charity gala sparkled like a scene from a dream. Crystal chandeliers glittering. Wealthy guests laughing in polished arrogance. Champagne flowing like liquid gold. And there I stood, Lily Anderson, clutching the strap of a borrowed pale blue dress that didn't quite fit. Praying no one noticed I didn't belong here. 25 years old, a social worker scraping through life one paycheck at a time. This world was designer gowns, whispered fortunes, and people who never had to wonder if their bank card would decline. For me, it was another universe entirely. I was seconds from slipping out, heart heavy with not enough, when I saw him, Derek, my ex, the man who shattered me and then blamed me for bleeding, the man who cheated, lied, and looked me in the eye while telling me I'd never be good enough for anyone better than him. And he was walking toward me, smug grin, new woman on his arm, perfect hair, perfect dress, perfect excuse for him to gloat. My chest tightened. I couldn't breathe. I could not watch him smirk at my loneliness and call it concern. My eyes darted wildly across the ballroom, looking for escape, salvation, anything. And then I saw him, a man standing alone, tall and composed in an impossibly expensive suit, boredom flickering behind sharp eyes like he'd rather be anywhere else. Power clung to him like a second skin. Before fear could stop me, I rushed toward him. Please, I whispered, voice trembling. I need you to pretend to be my boyfriend. Just 5 minutes. My ex is coming, and I can't let him think I'm alone. His brows lifted, surprised. But something in his gaze softened as he took in my shaking breath. My desperation. He didn't ask questions. He didn't hesitate. He simply slid an arm around my waist, firm, protective, and pulled me close just as Derek reached us. Lily, Derek said, shock flickering across his face. I didn't expect to see you here. This seems a little above your comfort zone. His voice dripped with fake innocence. I forced a smile. Derek, I said evenly. This is my boyfriend, Gabriel, the man beside me finished smoothly, offering his hand while holding me close like I was something precious. Gabriel Sinclair. Derek's eyes flicked between us, calculating. How long have you two been together? 3 months, Gabriel replied before I could inhale. The best 3 months of my life. He looked down at me, warmth in his gaze so convincing, my heart stuttered. Lily is brilliant, kind and stronger than she knows. She makes me want to be better. I'm grateful every single day she chose me. For a second, I almost forgot it was a lie. Derek's smirk cracked. That's good for you, he muttered. Well, Lily, we should catch up sometime. Maybe. Gabriel's voice cut through the tension. Calm, but carrying authority. That won't be happening, he said smoothly, a hint of a smirk playing on his lips. If you'll excuse us, I promised Lily a dance. Before Lily could protest, he guided her onto the dance floor. His hands settled naturally at her waist, firm yet gentle, and they began to move in rhythm with the music. Her knees were shaky, adrenaline still pulsing through her veins, but a wave of relief washed over her. Thank you, she whispered, her voice trembling slightly. I'm sorry for ambushing you like that. I just panicked. I could see that, Gabriel replied, his tone softer now, less commanding, more attentive. That was your ex? Yes, Lily admitted, her eyes flicking down for a moment. He was awful to me. I couldn't face his judgment tonight. Thank you for playing along. Gabriel's gaze softened, but curiosity lingered. What he said to you before, was any of it true? Are you really a social worker? Lily nodded, a faint smile tugging at her lips. I work with foster children, trying to find them permanent homes. It's not glamorous and it doesn't pay much, but it matters. Gabriel's expression hardened slightly, a protective edge appearing. Derek's an idiot, he said firmly. What you do, it's far more valuable than almost anything else in this room. Including what I do, Lily blinked, surprised. What do you do? She asked softly. I run a company, he said, vague but controlled. Not important right now. Tell me about your work. As they danced, conversation flowed naturally. Lily found herself relaxing in his arms. Gabriel asked intelligent questions about the children she helped, listened as if every detail mattered, and never once made her feel small or inadequate because of her modest life. When the song ended, Gabriel didn't let go immediately. Would you like to stay a little longer? He asked, eyes meeting hers. I'm supposed to be networking, Lily replied, hesitant. But I'd much rather spend the evening with you. Are you sure? She asked, doubt lingering. You don't have to keep pretending. You know, I'm not pretending anymore, Gabriel said quietly, almost under his breath. I'm genuinely interested in getting to know you. Not just tonight, not just this dance. Over the next few weeks, Gabriel and Lily saw each other more and more. Dinner dates, long walks, quiet moments in cafes where the world outside seemed to disappear. Every encounter left Lily more captivated, more intrigued, and somehow safer than she'd ever felt around anyone like Derek. Took her to restaurants she'd only ever passed by and dreamed about. Places where the chandeliers sparkled like falling stars, and the menus didn't dare list prices. But he also sat with her in her favorite tiny coffee shop, elbows touching across wooden tables worn by time, talking for hours over cheap lattes like it was the only place that mattered. Lily introduced him to her world, to the kids she cared for, the quiet heartbreaks and small victories of foster care, and Gabriel didn't just listen, he felt it. He looked into those children's eyes, asked them questions gently, and his sincerity stunned her. A billionaire or not, there was kindness in him she hadn't expected. Then, on their fourth date, everything shifted. They were dining at a cozy Italian place when a sharply dressed man approached. Mr. Sinclair, he greeted with a respectful nod. I'll have those reports sent to your office. Sinclair Industries can't afford delays. Lily froze. Sinclair Industries. Her pulse quickened, but Gabriel only smiled politely and dismissed the man. Later, with trembling hands and racing thoughts, Lily Googled the name, and her breath caught in her throat. Gabriel Sinclair wasn't just wealthy. He was one of the wealthiest men in the country, a billionaire CEO. Man whose decisions reshaped industries. When they were finally alone, Lily looked at him, torn between awe and confusion. Why didn't you tell me? She whispered. Gabriel exhaled slowly, vulnerability softening his usually controlled demeanor. Because I wanted you to know me, not the headlines. Every other woman I've dated was drawn to my money, my status, never the person beneath it. His voice lowered, raw and sincere. You asked me to pretend to love you for 5 minutes. I've spent the last month actually falling in love with you. I didn't want my bank account to build walls between us. Lily shook her head, tears forming. It doesn't change anything, she said softly. I fell for the man who stood up for me without knowing who I was. For the man who cared about my work like it mattered. I fell for you, Gabriel. Not your money, for the first time. His guarded composure cracked. He smiled, full and unshielded. Like the sun breaking through storm clouds. Then there's something else I need to tell you. Lily braced herself. He held her gaze. That gala where we met? I didn't just attend it. He paused, breath catching. I funded it. The foundation supports foster programs. Lily's heart clenched. You donated to foster care? I've been doing it for years. Gabriel admitted quietly. Because I grew up in foster care, too. The world seemed to stop around them. Emotion swelled in Lily's chest, heavy and aching. Why didn't you tell me when I talked about my work? His eyes softened. Because I wanted to hear your heart first. I wanted you to know I valued what you do. Not because of who I am or where I came from, but because it matters. You matter. Tears glimmered in Lily's eyes as she realized the truth. This wasn't just a love story born from chance. It was two broken worlds recognizing each other and choosing hope. 6 months after that first night, Gabriel asked Lily to meet him at another charity gala. This time, there were no secrets. She knew exactly who he was and the world he came from. As the chandeliers sparkled above them, echoing the same magic from their first encounter, Gabriel dropped to one knee in front of the crowd that had once watched their very first dance. You asked me to pretend to love you for 5 minutes, he began, his voice steady but full of emotion. Tonight I want to spend the rest of my life showing you I don't have to pretend at all. He looked deep into her eyes, capturing every flicker of surprise, joy, and love. You saw me as just a man who could help you in a moment of panic, but I saw something far greater. I saw a woman who values character over circumstance, a woman dedicating her life to children who no one else would fight for. Will you marry me? Tears of happiness streamed down Lily's cheeks as she whispered a trembling yes across the ballroom. Derek, watching from the edge of the room, no longer wore his smug grin. Instead, his expression froze in stunned disbelief. At their wedding, Gabriel recounted their story with warmth and humor. She asked me to pretend for 5 minutes. What I didn't realize was I was signing up for a lifetime of real. She thought she was using me to avoid embarrassment. But instead, she gave me the most authentic, honest relationship I've ever had. He paused, letting the words sink in. That's what happened.